Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Continuing our recitation
On Lord Chaitanya's pastimes.
So we proceed with the pastime of the magistrate of the district protesting the Sankirtana movement. The citizens had nicely decorated their doorways with banana trees, water pots, mango leaves, and green coconuts. Ghee lamps flickered in every house, and plates full of offerings were placed on the altars. All of this happened as if it had been commanded by someone unseen. Out in the street, men, women, and children joined the congregation, oblivious of every other care. Seeing how the people were leaving their houses unguarded, a thief considered, meaning a thief thought, "Wow, this is my very good opportunity." But within a short time, as the sound of the Kirtana entered his ears, the thief became freed from his stealing tendency, and instead of stealing, he joined in the chanting and dancing. The streets were strewn with puffed rice and coins thrown by the citizens as they watched the procession pass by. These people also joined in, so that the marchers swelled in numbers. The tremendous crowd surged onward in a slow, fluid motion, like the waves of the Ganga that flowed beside them. They all danced and chanted, surrounding the golden form of the Lord. Now, just to give you a recap, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, has started the Sankirtana movement in Nadia, the Hare Krishna Sankirtana movement. But the magistrate, the district magistrate, began to obstruct, and he broke a mridanga and threatened all the residents of Nadia that if they perform any more Nagara Sankirtana, they would all be punished by the magistrate, Kazi. So hearing this, Lord Chaitanya became very furious, and he decided to take the entire movement, the Kirtana, Nagara Sankirtana, with the entire residents, all of them together, and he took a procession of the Kirtana towards the Qazi's house to revolt against his threat. So this is what you're hearing. So you're hearing about how the crowd is getting accumulated in the Sankirtana party of the Lord. Persons who could normally not sing were now singing with sweet melodious voices. The Lord was surrounded by the best of the singers: Murari, Mukunda Datta, Ramai, Govinda, Vakreshwara, Vasudeva, and others. Lord Nityananda and Gadadhar Pandita danced on either side of the Lord. Always the dancing form of Lord Chaitanya brought wonderment and exhilaration to the hearts of those who beheld them. It was a magnificent sight. The dancers moved in rhythmic motions, and thousands of burning torches also seemed like an animated, passionate dance. It was night, but the dancing figure of Lord Chaitanya was clearly visible, as if bathed in full moonlight. All of the symptoms of ecstasy appeared in the Lord's body. Sometimes there was shivering, sometimes profuse perspiration, and sometimes the hair on his body stood on end. The ecstatic symptoms appeared one after the other like a change of seasons on Lord Chaitanya's body. Some devotees danced by themselves, but mostly they chanted in groups. Many people carried a torch in one hand and an oil container in the other hand. During this unprecedented Sankirtana, there was a miraculous occurrence. The residents of Navadvipa acquired the same bodily characteristics as the residents of Vaikuntha. Meaning, all the people who joined the Sankirtana party, they all attained the four-handed Vishnu form, which is the form of the Vaikuntavasis. This was something very miraculous that occurred. Everyone manifested four arms, but because they were so engrossed in the Kirtana, they did not even notice this divine transformation of their bodies. Indeed, the ever-increasing bliss of Vaikuntha was fully manifest. While dancing along the shore of Ganga, Lord Chaitanya appeared like Krishna himself with a flute in his hand. The devotees had never before experienced the ecstasy of such a massive Sankirtana procession. They forgot their bodily identification and all kinds of tribulations in their life. They sang and they danced and they rolled on the ground. Such was the ecstasy. Many became emboldened and made public announcements in loud voice, yelling. Some of them said, "Where is that Kazi? If I find him, I will cut his head off." That was the kind of emboldenment that happened by just taking part in this Kirtana. Others shouted the names of certain atheists while pounding the ground as if sealing their fate. This was the Lord's first major Nagara Sankirtana. All of the demigods, the Devatas, along with all their Devata families, associates, came and mingled with the crowd in the form of human beings. And they were in the form of human beings in this crowd, and they could not be detected. With great enthusiasm, they joined in the chanting and dancing of Lord Chaitanya. As the procession passed, uncountable, nicely decorated houses, as well as marketplaces and large squares, everyone thought that Navadvipa was a very populous and supremely opulent town. It seemed as if the Supreme Lord, desiring to advent here, had arranged for countless people to come and participate in his Sankirtana movement. Whoever saw the Lord dancing was unable to contain his emotions. Even those with hearts of stone were moved to tears and fell to the ground. As the Lord danced, his flower garland swayed wildly. His beauty was breathtaking. His Brahmana's thread hung loosely over his shoulder, and his dhoti was nicely pleated and tucked in place neatly. Tears flowed from Lord Chaitanya's eyes like the waves of Ganga. These were tears of bliss. As some of the tears clung to his fine nose, they shone like a string of pearls. His glossy, black, curly hair became entwined in his flower garlands, and this created a beautiful, fine sight. The devotees prayed, "O Lord, please grant us our desire, that we may remember this pastime, holding it within our hearts, birth after birth." The Lord knew how to inspire the devotees to come and join him as he danced. He was very sensitive to reciprocating the mood and movements of his associates. The devotees eagerly covered themselves with dust from the ground that had touched Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Lord Nityananda, he was always by the side of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and knowing his every move. Whenever Lord Vishwambara swooned in ecstasy, Nityananda Prabhu would hold out his hands to hold him steady. Once, after being held in this way, Lord Chaitanya sat down and spoke. He said, "I am the Supreme Lord Narayana. I killed the demon Kansa. I deceived Bali Maharaja, and I constructed a bridge to Lanka and killed the demon Ravana." And the moment he would recover back from this mood, the next moment his mood would change completely back into a devotee, and with great meekness and humility, he would say, "Oh Lord, please grant me devotion at your lotus feet. Oh Krishna, please give me devotion." So this was the moods that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept swaying about. In whatever way the Lord acted, it astonished everyone. He even once put his toe into his mouth, like Lord Krishna, baby Krishna. If you have seen the photos of baby Krishna, Lord Vishwambara was dancing all around Navadvipa. This town was actually Shvetadvipa of the spiritual world. Actually, Navadvipa is a part of the Shvetadvipa of the spiritual world. So on this day, when this procession happened, the entire Shvetadvipa manifested there. The procession sometimes moved quickly and other times slowly, depending on how long the Lord danced in one place. Indeed, Lord Chaitanya moved about like a mad lion, intoxicated by the holy names. The procession passed by many bathing places towards Simulia. No one became tired. The Devatas constantly showered flowers. Some were there on the sky showering flowers, and some of the Devatas were in the Sankirtana movement in the form of human beings. And Srivas, Advait, Haridas, they were all dancing in groups in front of ahead of Lord Vishwambara. As the procession came to each new locality, the people from the houses would run out of their houses eager to see the Lord. And without realizing it, they were all drawn into the Sankirtana. Without their knowledge, they would just join the chanting and dancing, and they would be a part of the Sankirtana team. Soon, having become intoxicated by the holy name of Krishna, these people manifested ecstatic symptoms. Some of them rolled on the ground, some of them made sounds with their mouths as if playing musical instruments, and some of them embraced whoever they met, and many were seen offering obeisances, falling to the ground like a rod. There were still others who caught hold of the devotees' lotus feet and cried in ecstasy. We will continue further on this in our next episode. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.